Hello everyone, my name is Cecily and welcome to my channel, The Lover's Astro and Tarot. This is for anyone whose sun, moon, or ascendant is in the awesome sign of Scorpio um, for the month of November. So, to all of my subscribees, I want to offer an apology. I had some breakdowns around my computer and my camera. So in September, my camera broke and I got it fixed, and it was done just in time for October's reading. And when October came around, my computer broke. So I just had to deal and, take my Mercury in retrograde lesson, and I ended up with a brand new computer. So I just bought it yesterday, and I'm back today, and I will be back in December. So we're back on the bandwagon, folks. Let's go. Um, with that being said, let's jump into your November reading and see what you have going for you. So, the first thing that you see right off is one of the best cards in the deck, because you have some hard times ahead, Scorpio, and I hate to say that to you because I feel like Scorpios always get it the worst. Just naturally, with their sign being Pluto, I think they're always in some state of flux or some state of change. So I try to be sensitive to you guys and your needs. But you have the Ten of Pentacles. And the Ten of Pentacles is about wealth, it's about family, it's about tradition. So in the month of November, you're going to be feeling very plentiful. You're going to feel like there's lots of love around you. It may be friends, family, all sorts of different relationships, especially around the holidays. There's a lot going on. But with that being said, even if you look at the Ten of Pentacles, let me see if I can get it to light up. There you go. There's a couple in the back and they're embracing, and it's like a genuine love, but it's also the Ten of Pentacles is not by choice versus the Ten of Cups is choosing love by choice. So there's something that you're sticking to. There's something that the Ten of Pentacles is you feeling really happy, but there's some sort of sense of duty or obligation in that love. And that love is really strong for you. The Ten of Pentacles is, it's a 10. You can't get any higher. So with that being said, you have this love that you're embracing, that you're holding someone tight at the beginning of the month. And even if this person isn't actually with you, because I can see that there are some problems going on as we get through November, that doesn't necessarily mean that it means that you're thinking about each other on some level. You guys might not even recognize it, but there's something that's happening between you underneath it all, that there's a promise of happiness and family there. You're committed in your mind, whether you're with them or not, which is a very Scorpio thing to do. So that being said, you also have the Four of Pentacles in your crossing. And the Four of Pentacles, as you can see, it's a guy that's holding on tight to what he holds dear. And in the reverse, it's basically saying that one, you're letting it go, and you've let go of the duty of loving someone, and you're really willing to look at yourself. Or the second option is, two, you've decided to not let it go, but you're going to stay in that unhealthy cycle and hold even tighter. So Scorpio, you really have a decision to make on, the relationship that you're in. Are you holding too tight to something that's worked in the past that might not be working now? Or is it something that you're thinking about having and a love that you're cherishing from the past and something that you've really wanted to come into fruition, and you're now at the point where you can let it go, or you're not letting it go? with that being said, you're thinking about going to that person and telling this person how much they mean to you. You're thinking about opening yourself back up and saying, something, some, you're saying something needs to happen between us. Scorpio, that's your intent. Your intent is to say, I love you. I'm not at the point where I'm ready to let this go. Or at least that's what you're thinking. That's what you're thinking. But your foundation card is the Four of Swords in reverse. Now here it is in the upright. It's a man laying down. He's basically on his deathbed. But the Four of Swords in the upright is actually about you taking time to think, to acknowledge the fact that things weren't working, and to piece yourself back together, to allow yourself to rebuild and to reconnect with those feelings of love and joy and harmony and happiness. So, in reverse, it means you're not allowing yourself to rest. There's a difference between you thinking about something and trying to heal yourself, or shutting it in a box and putting it there and not ever touching it, even though you know it's inside of you. Just you won't acknowledge the fact that you need to handle that box. Or the opposite side of that is when you're obsessing over something and you obsess, and then you put it in the box, and then you take it out, you play with it for a while, and you obsess, and then you put it back in the box again. And that has to be because of your fear. Because in the recent past, you have the Nine of Swords. And the Nine of Swords is a nightmare. The Nine of Swords is when you feel like your thoughts are ruling you. They're controlling you. They're controlling who you're being. And it really is about realizing that there's more potential around you, and all you have to do is wake up from the nightmare. Someone in the past recently, you may have found out something that someone betrayed you, or that they hurt you or did something that you considered to be not okay. And now you kind of regained your strength in terms of how to look at that relationship, because you're thinking about going back to that person, but there's still a part of you that feels unbalanced because you got the Temperance card in reverse. And Temperance is very much about loving yourself, taking that time to take care of yourself, your love, your work, your family. All of your life is important, and you can't just take care of one area and let the rest fall. So you might have been really into taking care of your money situation and letting your relationship fall to pieces, and now you're trying to put it back together. Or it might have been vice versa, and you might not have been taking care of things, and you might have had problems in the past with money, and maybe that's why you're running into problems with your mate around that. Or you may have made so much money, to be honest, with the Ten of Pentacles, that you have been, really focused on work. That person decided that it wasn't worth it and has, walked away or pulled apart from you. With the Four of Pentacles in reverse, they may still be there. They just may not be emotionally accessible to you. And, you've gotten past this nightmare, but now you're still unbalanced. You're still trying to figure out what it is that you need to do and what you need to do for yourself. But with that being said, you think that even though you're going to offer your love to this person, I think there's a part of you that thinks that because this person got the Fool, now they got the Fool in reverse, but I think there's a part of you that thinks that this person has moved on. This person has started over. This person is doing what they need to do for them. They've got their knapsack and they're going on to better, higher ground, and they're kind of leaving you behind, which might have been the nightmare. But if you look at it, they got the Fool in reverse, which means they haven't went anywhere. And I'm not, they are at a point where they're stuck. and they're thinking about you and they're contemplating. And, as you can see in the reverse, it actually looks kind of like he's got his hand on his chin and he's thinking, um, even though he's carrying his knapsack, and that's not actually what's happening. It's very much about them feeling like they took a wrong turn. They're not going in the right direction. They had a new start and they blew it for whatever reason. And you're sitting there feeling unbalanced, and they're just as unbalanced as you are. And for you, and the fears and hopes position, you got the Seven of Wands. Now, the Seven of Wands, as you can see, is a man, but it was the Seven of Wands in reverse, excuse me. The Seven of Wands is really, in the upright, it's about a man trying to fight everything off. All the pressures of life, or all the offers of romance, depending on what the cards around them are. Now, I feel like this is the pressures of life. Scorpio, I feel like you've probably been having a hard time recently, whether it's just your romantic life or whether it's work or family and personal relationships as well. You've been feeling like there's a lot to deal with. You're trying to deal with everything one at a time, but you have to figure out what the right course is and how to take the right step, because if you fall, you feel like the whole thing comes crumbling down, and you can't separate one from the other necessarily, because the Seven of Wands is about all of these enemies basically grouping up on you, but you still being strong, you still having the vantage point. In the reverse, you feel like the fear is that you don't have the vantage point. The fear is that they're in control, you're not, and you're kind of stuck left with whatever is left. You're kind of just sitting there waiting for this person, because you're trying to get your act together. And while you're doing that, or while they're getting their act together, because of all of the stuff that you're going through, you're not living the nightmare anymore of the Nine of Swords, but you're still feeling unbalanced, and they're still feeling left behind. So at the beginning of the month, you're going to start off strong, and you're still going to have so many strong feelings of love. So many things are, going to come to you, but just realize that it's not all bad. This is a process here, and right now I feel like you're in the belly of the process. You're in the inner workings of what's happening in the flow of your life, the undercurrent of your life, and it's just showing up right now. I'm gonna pull 2 outcome cards and see exactly what comes out for you. Okay, 1, and you got 3, actually. They all popped out together, so I'm going to take all 3. So, the first one that you received is the Six of Cups. So this tells me that the person that you're interested in is thinking back on the relationship that you had, and you're thinking back on the relationship that you had, and with the Queen of Wands being there, you're going, ugh, I have all this energy. I know exactly what I want. I'm very clear about what it is that I need in this relationship, but I'm still at a point where I can't do anything. And you're not at a point where you're not capable of doing anything, but you're at a point where the rest of your life has to be in the right place in order for you to make this relationship happen. But the good thing is your outcome card is the Lovers. So this person is totally yours, totally in love with you, still very much accessible to you, still very much there, but they're in the background waiting for circumstances that are out of both of your controls to clear up so you guys can get back to this. Get back to the love. Get back to being with each other, expressing your love to each other, allowing each other to be the best person that they possibly can be, and expressing that in the everyday fashion that works for both of you guys in a healthy, romantic, successful way. So, you guys actually have a lot going for you. I know it doesn't feel great to be stuck in the middle of a situation sometimes, but with that being said, the memories that are there are real. They're not made up, they're not in your head, they're not anything. That person is still very much thinking about you, still very much a viable person for you to be with. The Queen of Wands could easily be a representation of the person that's trying to come to you. This could possibly be a Leo, a Sagittarius, or an Aries, woman or man, but someone who is not willing to act. They're not willing to act, Sagittarius. They're, at a point where they feel like you should do the acting. They're going to leave it to you. They might be waiting for you to get something together or to offer them that love, like the Knight of Cups previously suggested, but they are coming back into your life. So look forward to that happening. It might not happen until the end of November. You might get some news, or you might get some news at the very beginning of December. But this person is actually looking forward to talking to you. So be open and available. Take your time, do whatever it is that you need to do. Respect yourself along the way, but remember that it's all coming back and it's all coming full circle. So, with that being said, that's your November reading. If you guys have any other questions or comments, please feel free to contact me at theloversastro@gmail.com. For the month of November, I will be giving a special, which is a private reading, $20 for 20 minutes. Usually my rate is 30 minutes for $40. So feel free to connect with me if you'd like. Other than that, thank you for your patience. I love you guys so much. Love all of my Scorpios, and I will see you next month in December. Bye.